Alright guys, HyDra again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. The season has most definitely not yet begun, but Drazah now on FaZe is already waging war against the OpTic fans before that rivalry is renewed at the start of the new season. Looking back at a clip from a couple of seasons ago, the Drazah says it's pretty funny because even though Shotzzy had a nice 3-piece, Thieves still won the map at the time. Then he plays victim a little bit on social media. There's a lot to dive into here. Very much to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Plenty to get into today. Firstly, of course, lots of things happening with these teams. Erikboom and Heretics, they've now confirmed everything. Vikul's looking really good as well. Like, since the hair transplant's coming, he's looking good. And I know that whenever I put Vikul on a thumbnail, the only good high-quality image of him is when, like, his hair was just kind of growing in. So it doesn't look great, to be fair, on there compared to what it does today. So, like, I'm just hoping there's a better image of Vikul that goes around at some point that I can put on a thumbnail, because otherwise, you know, because I think Octane's picture a few years ago, or maybe it was Crimsix as well, I kind of forget, he had some dodgy pictures. Like, the CDL just could not take a good picture of Crim, especially during Vanguard. For whatever reason, their, like, profile pictures that they took at the start of the season were just terrible, and I had to use a load of the Cold War ones because they actually look good. So hopefully this year they do a good job with the photography again. Speaking of another team, I thought it was an interesting analysis here from Kennedy on the new LA Thieves roster, and in some sense comparing the players on the old Thieves versus the new Thieves, because when you look at it from a numbers perspective, it's okay, it's worse, but it's not, and obviously the numbers don't mean that much, but I think that there's a comparison to be made potentially in terms of which the players kind of align, you know what I mean, across the two teams. So Ghosty can kind of try and be the new Octane in some sense, the Hill Kitten, the communicator guy. Maybe Cammy can try and do Drazah's role on that flex. And then you've got kind of like Joe Thieves and Afro trying to be the Kenny and Envoy respectively of the roster. And you can definitely see some parallels between the players. It's just the old Thieves players were just better in those respective roles. And this is why it's a bit of a challenge to really see how good this new Thieves team is potentially going to be. I mean, look, their overall KDs, even when the old Thieves, right, the Thieves that is now completely disintegrated, their KDs weren't anything special, and that was mainly because they played the game very well from a teamwork perspective, right? They could get outslayed, or if they did outslay you, they would usually win by a lot, you know? That was a very impressive team. Like, their KDs 1.01 overall, you know, 1.00 hard points. Nothing crazy at all. You wouldn't think that these KDs would be conducive to multiple event wins necessarily, but that's exactly what happened during Vanguard, and even during MW2 they got that event win at Major 4 in Columbus. So new Thieves, you look at their KDs, a little bit worse, but maybe Thieves can have a similar situation where they also play very fundamentally sound, and there's some parallels to be drawn between these players, but it's, you know, it's just not quite as good, is it? And obviously some of the other teams have got better, so it's going to be a challenge for the new LA Thieves, but I think they've done probably the right thing, all things considered, with the roster that they've built. Bit of drama as well I wanted to mention, especially as we dive into the OpTic side. On this Creator League, you probably saw this going around. So this Creator League thing happens that OpTic are involved in. So you've got, like, it's a bit strange. You've got, like, Bella Porch, iShow Speed, and many other people. They've got their, like, communities that you can get involved to kind of play for their community in this Creator League. So OpTic got involved in this, and you know, so we see here there's basically an explainer video on exactly how it works. Now, the reason why this caused some controversy is because these passes you can buy that you see here are like NFTs, blockchain, or like on blockchain technology, something like that anyway. And how it is nowadays is if anybody hears blockchain or NFT, they think, oh, it's a scam, get me out of there. So it's not always wise to use those terms. I don't really see anything massively wrong with this, though, in the sense that it's not like they're selling you an NFT that you're expected to buy with the intention that it's going to go up in price and they're going to, like, pump and dump it, basically. It's not that. It's just using this supposed blockchain technology to track who's actually, you know, got the right to do this stuff. So basically, I can buy the OpTic one, and for 20 bucks or whatever, and it gives me access to do all of these things and play for the team, like play for the OpTic team and stuff like this anyway. And there's other things involved, but because when you actually purchase this, it kind of locks it in on the blockchain, people are like, oh, it's a scam. And I don't know, maybe there's more to it than I'm understanding, just because this guy, CDog VA, has already dipped out. He was like, you know, I accepted to join it, not fully understanding the tech tech behind it. Now I know that there's blockchain technology involved, and you know, I'm out of there. I was given assurances it has nothing to do with NFTs. He's still on the website here that like I can still pay $20 for his thing, but I imagine that's going to disappear in short order. So a bit confused by this whole thing, to be honest, but I just wanted to address some of the drama going down there, because it seems like from the outside the blockchain technology is just being used to like verify ownership as opposed to do anything dramatically scammy, which has definitely been the case with blockchain NFTs over the last couple of years. So yeah, that's kind of all I know on the situation, so I just wanted to update you guys on that. But let's dive into what Drazah had to say on some of the OpTic stuff, and I feel kind of bad for Arstees here, because he was watching the games yesterday with the OpTic Halo team. When does OpTic play? When do you play? Last year, usually Friday, one and done, right? Because they would turn up on the Friday, because they started in the losers bracket, get slammed out of the tourney, and that was GG. And as he says, you know, when do I play last year? So he's not saying next year, but we think he's on Seattle surge for the new season. Now, Shotzzy has been doing some crazy movement stuff for a long time now. It's been a big talking point even for the last few days, with MW3 launching and how that might fare, how good Shotzzy might be at the new titles, this type of stuff. But a couple of years ago, there was also similar clips of Shotzzy doing stuff like this, and this was doing the rounds again the other day. So this is Major 2, Rockers Major, which somehow Los Angeles Gullers won during Vanguard, when we had OpTic versus Thieves. Thieves were up 1-0 at this point, and Shotzzy had this remarkable three-piece. It wasn't a 1v3, but this was one of the most memorable moments of the season, right? Shotzzy getting this three-piece, and it's a funny three-piece because the final guy in the feed, I suppose, just flying out the window. That was Drazah, right? So I mean, we can just watch the quick replay here when Shotzzy gets one, and then he gets the second, and then, of course, spins around again and sees Drazah coming down from the heavens, and he takes him out for the three-piece. So, entertaining clip, one of the highlights, one of the most memorable moments, absolutely. And I guess I'll just play it big screen just for your entertainment.
Well, it's gone chaotic in the first few moments, and you can see now they're going to try and regain. Shotzzy looking for the player. He hasn't found anybody, though, but he is aware of where they might be. And if he can find something here, bring this back into a very, very close game, and he's seen the shouldering coming in. Takes out Octane as well, turns the band, and it's Shotzzy again! Oh! Shotzzy with a three-piece! Just annihilate LA Thieves! Oh my goodness!
It's absolutely ludicrous from Shotzzy. He sees the guy on the right, finds one, finds two, and it's Drazah from up top. And he picks him out of the air before his feet touch the floor. Shotzzy, in an enigmatic moment in their search and destroy.
Now, Drazah saw this going around and decided that it was time to hit the quote tweet. So he says, this is, you know, the funniest clip because we won this map, which is true. They did win this map in round 11 here, Drazah and the Los Angeles Thieves. So Drazah's really just, you know, making fun of it, saying, oh yeah, nice three-piece Shotzzy, but we still won. So, you know, it's funny because we still won, even though, like, you know, you had this nice moment. Trying to take the mick, it seems. Now, I think Drazah expected, and is playing up to this, that he was going to get cooked in the replies, right? You know, if you scroll down a little bit, you get down to here, and we're talking, you know, only thing I remember is you getting slammed for 3, somebody's mad, like, can't appreciate a quality three-piece, why are you so insecure? You know how it goes, right? So, you know, I think Drazah was expecting it, and then he comes out and says, can't take these OpTic fans serious, I'm literally saying it's funny because what am I doing in that clip? Which is true. It's a funny clip, mainly because how Drazah flies out the window here for some reason. I mean, he just gave it. Was he in the window, or was he on the lower level actually? I think maybe he was on the lower level actually, not in the window, but whatever. Comes flying over the top and you know, gets cooked by Shotzzy, and now he's saying, oh, you know, it's funny because I'm doing that in that clip. But of course, that's not what he said in the initial tweet. His initial tweet said it's not funny because I mean, okay, it is funny because he flew off the top rope and tried to get the kill, but it's mainly funny because they won the map, even though Shotzzy got this nice kill. So now Drazah's trying to say, oh no, like I didn't mean that, guys. I can't believe you OpTic fans are being serious, roasting me in the replies for this. And then even Maven wades in, who, I mean, look, people are like, oh, Maven, FaZe D-Rider. I mean, Maven used to be a formal D-Rider back in the OpTic days when formal was the best player in the world. So it's like, Maven tends to just generally appreciate the best teams. But still, he does say, you chose FaZe, you could rescue Dashy from a burning building and you're still screwed. And look, Drazah knows full well what he's doing here, and he knows full well that having made that decision to choose FaZe over OpTic and made it very public why he decided to do such a thing and why he believes that it's absolutely the right call, you know, he's going to get cooked a little bit. Now, of course, that series we just looked at was Thieves, and Thieves aren't even necessarily relevant to this present-day rivalry, but yeah, still entertaining stuff. So Drazah's already trying to get the OpTic fans riled up against him a little bit, and in fairness, Envoy says, you know, no cap, what was that, Drazah? What were you trying to do there? And the funny thing that I found actually about this as well is, you know, because he was kind of thinking that he was going to run in the tunnel, so for some reason he just absolutely flew out at him, but people were also roasting Drazah because they actually got reverse swept in this series. And this is the thing that I also went back and found, that despite the fact that they did win that Bocage Search and Destroy 6-5, despite Shotzzy's nice little 3-piece, they did then go on to get reverse swept. And this was at the point of the season where OpTic were basically unstoppable on Tuscan control. And I don't know if this was that crazy Berlin hardpoint where Shotzzy was just going absolutely rampant. You guys remember the one that he dropped like 40 in? I don't know if it was this one, but probably another one. But OpTic eventually took it to a Tuscan Search game 5 and got the job done 6-4. So pretty funny in the end how, you know, Drazah started roasting OpTic in some sense for, oh yeah, you guys, nice clip Shotzzy, but I still won the map. But actually they did still lose the series. So I guess it kind of works both ways. Even TJ was tweeting about this because, so an anonymous individual who I think TJ thought was probably Byron Prolute says, go to Drazah's Twitter, he's literally tweeting like he's LeBron right now. So yeah, Drazah's just getting ready for the upcoming season. He knows how it's done. He knows full well that FaZe team will be, I mean, hated by many of the fans. I mean, they already get booed massively at events. Now they've got Drazah. I mean, it's going to get even worse, especially, I mean, the OpTic Major. If we get OpTic versus FaZe at the OpTic Major, it's going to be very entertaining. The OpTic Major is going to happen. I don't know when it's going to be yet, because it was the first major of the Vanguard season, but it was the third major of last season, so we don't really know when it's going to be as of yet. But it will happen, and hopefully we get OpTic versus FaZe at that one, because it's going to be particularly entertaining if that is the case. This I also thought was funny from Nero on a similar topic. You guys probably remember Champs that year, Thieves with Drazah on it, played Nero and the Boston Breach in that first round match they played. It went to a Tuscan Search and Destroy Game 5, Round 11. And after this point, Thieves never looked back. They won a very sketchy first series here against Boston. And after that, they won every single series they played, I'm pretty sure, very convincingly, to be honest, and they're to the end of the tourney. This was when Thieves looked the most sketchy in round 1. And you guys might remember that moment where Boston just got nervous, didn't know what to do, and just like ran into the church in the middle of the map with their pistols out, and they just got fried. So Nero still looks back and thinks about that. Thinks, damn, like if we could have just not gone brain dead modes, like it was the Zinni team at the time on that Game 5 round 11, then maybe they could have beaten Thieves. Who knows how far they could have gone, and who knows if we had a different world champion that year. So very much on Twitter, your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Just another one here to close out with CDL Facemorph. We're back at it again. This is... The outline of the hair here is clearly HyDra, I think. And I know that people are saying this is Scrappy, and I think it might be, but I don't know. People seem to be convinced this is HyDra and Scrappy, and I guess I kind of see that, but I'm not 100% sure. I did manage to get the one right the other day. I called it. There was one with Drazah and Beans. I actually got it right. I was well proud of myself. But very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
Wait, is your name Anthony or Antony?
Are you serious? Anthony.
I mean, are you Italian?
Yeah, Anthony.
Why don't they call you Antony?
Nice trade. Tony.
APG's in the hill.
No one calls me Anthony.
Nice. Come on.
I didn't jinx that.
Tony is just a nickname for Anthony.
And most importantly, the overshield popped just as they got that hill. I think Trippy
Oh, and we're on new already. Yeah, boys.
only tie up the game, but they
Yo,
also get
Zinni, lock in, bro. You said he is a guy?
My name was
And
Anthony.
OpTic can start to set up to try and make this 2-1 in their favor.
I don't know what y'all
I
are
might be
talking
faded for that.
about.
I might be faded for that. We're good though.
Green.
Oh my God, Trippy.
No, is that not a thing, dude? Is that not a thing? I just could have sworn that was a thing.